Hello everyone, my name is Christy and I have a really exciting video for you guys today. I'm gonna do my fantasy TBR for basically the rest of the year. Am I going to read all of these books? Probably not, but I still wanted to make this video because I feel like it's gonna be a good way for other people to just find books they might like maybe you'll see something that catches your eye, you could add it to your TBR. I just kind of wanted to let everyone know that these books exist, they interest me, and that's why they're on this list. Now, I haven't actually looked at all the descriptions fully, like a lot of them I just kind of like skimmed them and I looked for like keywords, like my little buzzwords, and then I saw a few and I was like, okay, that's good on the list. So I'm gonna be reading some of the descriptions, some of them I'll just tell you what they're about, but some of them I'm actually gonna be reading them thoroughly for the first time, so that could be interesting. We'll see if it actually stays on my list for an interesting book. And also, it is springtime here and I'm dealing with a little bit of allergies. So if you hear some sniffles happening or like a random cough, that's what that is. They're just, my area, the pollen is insane. If you've ever been to North Carolina in the spring, it's pretty treacherous with the pollen here. So hoping that goes away this week. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the books. So the first one I have in this list is called The Betrayal of Eden by Erin Phillips. And the major buzzword that I saw for this one is that it is a Count of Monte Cristo retelling. I mean, that, it's like say no more, because that is my favorite classic. Pride and Prejudice is up there. Okay, so like I would say like Count of Monte Cristo, Pride and Prejudice, it's really hard. I guess it depends on the day which one's like my favorite classic of all time. But I just loved it. And then like the majority of people that on BookTube I know that have read Count of Monte Cristo also love it. I just love the story, the characters, like everything that happened. So if there's gonna be a retelling of that, I am all for it. That sounds amazing. Next book is called Flame Theory by C.F.E. Black. I've heard really good things from several different people, and in fact, one bookstagrammer I was talking with personally was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. So I was like, okay. And dragons are all the rage these days, so we need to read it. It says it's illegal to own a wild dragon. It's even more illegal to bond with one. And this is supposed to be a mashup between How to Train Your Dragon and Six of Crows? I didn't actually put that on here. It's something crows, like Six Crows or Six of Crows. And it says, I spent my life scraping by in the city's underbelly, doing whatever it takes to give my family a better future. So when I'm offered a place at the country's most prestigious dragon riding academy, I seize the chance, no matter that I've just agreed to spy on the city's most ruthless crime family as part of the deal. Say no more. That's all I need to know. That sounds fun. I love academy books, and if it's Dragon Academy, even better. We're spying on a crime family. That is so fun. I hope there's romance in this. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't heard anything about romance, but if not, that's okay. War Hour by Lauren Loskig. So sorry if I'm butchering your name. First, I just want to say I love this cover. The cover alone makes me want to read it. And this is a Red Queen meets Hunger Games and Divergent mashup, young adult fantasy. So I feel like that's all I need to know, really, but I am going to read a little bit about it. When powers are earned and not born, who shall wield them? Lista lives in constant fear of trialing, a deadly test that bestows an ability upon its victors, but only after pushing them to their mental and physical limits. Forced to trial against her will, Lista becomes a weapon others plan to use against the untrialed, until an unexpected intruder from another court presents her with an opportunity to stop it but can she trust the plans of a man who seems to play the lines between enemy and ally? So it sounds like it's also an enemies to lovers. So that is really fun. I like that. I love any books that have trials, things like that too. And I think it also said something about like, if you liked Powerless, you'll also like this book. So that's good, because I know a lot of people really, really like that. They like the banter, and there was trials in that one too. So next book is Bride of a Midnight Prince by Anastasia Blythe. So Reese from the Writing Songbird, this one is for you. You're the one that told me about this, and I'm so sorry I've not read it yet, because I feel like it's been on my TBR for like a year. I don't know how long it's been. And it is so intriguing to me, and for whatever reason, I just keep skipping over it. But I really, really want to read it this summer. It's kind of like it's sitting there and it's like slowly working its way up my list kind of thing, and eventually it's gonna be at the top. I'm gonna be so in the mood and we're gonna read it. So here's what this one is about. An undercover vigilante, a fae prince sworn to hunt her down. So we have an assassin thing going on here. Can they survive the most impossible of arrangements, marriage? So sounds like marriage of convenience. Ever since she lost her mother to the Fae Forest, Kat has sought to free human slaves from the cruel clutches of Fae masters. Her daring escapades performed under the nose of the Guardian go off without a hitch, until Fae decide to retaliate. Prince Rek, okay, of the Night Court is sent as an emissary to the human world to establish peace through marriage. But he carries with him a secret task: find the vigilante freeing the human slaves and kill him. What Rock is not expecting to discover upon settling in the human world, however, is that the young servant boy attending him is neither a servant nor a boy, but a disguised Lady Catherine Vandermoor, and the very woman he promised to marry. Oh my goodness, that sounds so good. So good. Okay, now that I'm reading this, I need to make this a priority, Reese. I really do. The Huntress by Carrie Cotton. And this one I have heard such good things about from many different people, primarily Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. And this has been on my TBR for a little bit. And I think this is a whole series. And she always talks so highly of this. So I'm like, this is another one. I'm like, oh, why haven't I read it yet? And it says, betrayed by their allies, the last of the Picts have escaped to the innermost part of the endless dark forest. Oh, I love a good dark forest. Content to remain hidden there forever. Made queen just as a child, Cyrene has given all of her life and heart to the task of making sure her people are never terrorized again. When a handsome stranger from the kingdom that betrayed them falls injured at the boundary of her village, she is forced to choose between mercy and duty. Okay, yeah, I feel like that's all I need to know. That sounds really, really good. Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This is another one that's been on my TBR for a really, really long time. And I'm hoping I can get the audiobook for this from my library. I should be able to. I feel like it's a really, really popular book. So many people have so many good things to say about him. I read Tress of the Emerald Sea this past fall, and it was so cute. I loved it so much. And I think this one's a little bit more intense. I don't think that one's as this one's as whimsical fairy tale like, but it says, once a hero arose to save the world, he failed. Ever since, the world has been a wasteland of ash and mist, controlled by the immortal emperor known as the Lord Ruler. Brandon Sanderson is so funny. But hope survives. A new uprising is forming, one built around the ultimate caper, the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind, and the determination of an unlikely heroine, a street urchin who must learn to master the power of a Mistborn. So it sounds like she has like secret powers or something like that. The Light of Iden. Oh, I have this. Or is it Eden? I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. Like this makes me want to say Iden, like the fact there's an I in it, but technically it's probably Eden. I don't know. Maybe if I hear like an audiobook, I don't know what it is. This book is beautiful, first of all. Can we get, let me see. Oh yeah, there we go. We got some focus on it. So I kind of bought this because it was so beautiful, but also because Bookish Kelly told me about it and she really, really loves it. It won the Christie Award. I always felt weird saying that because like Christie is my name. I've never actually seen the show or read the book Christie before, literally because it's my name. Like I always just felt like awkward about it. I don't know, that's just me. I know that's really silly, but anyway, this book is so it has Christian allegory in it, and it is, let's see what it's about. Abram has dedicated the last 8 years of his life to becoming worthy to touch and tend the sacred flames of, I'm going to say Iden. And he expects to be blessed for his devotion and sacrifice. But on the eve of taking the vows that will irrevocably separate him from the life he was born to, as Abram Caledorn, fifth son of the king of Kiriath, he is betrayed by his spiritual mentor and sold into slavery by his brothers. Swept along the winds of new destiny, Abram is forced to compete as a gladiator. Okay. When the oppressed masses rally around his success, he discovers his suffering has molded him into something greater than he ever thought possible, to serve a purpose he never imagined. So it kind of sounds like a mashup between like the story of Abraham and Joseph, but I mean, that's just because of the name. Maybe it's not actually about Abraham. It more sounds like a Joseph reimagining. I don't want to say retelling, but like reimagining kind of thing, allegorical. And I love the story of Joseph. So, yes. Mortal Queens by Victoria McCombs. So I've heard a lot of good things about this book. I'm not gonna lie, the cover kind of scares me. It just looks really freaky. It is not a book that I would ever want to pick up kind of thing. But I just feel like I keep seeing it everywhere, like on Instagram, and like several booktubers have talked about it. So I decided to read the description the other day and I was like, you know what? Actually, that does sound kind of interesting. I think I might be willing to read that. Maybe I'll just read it on Kindle so I won't have to look at the cover. But it says, they vanish without a trace, disappear into the night. Each year on Center Island, one girl is chosen to be the next mortal queen of the idolized Fae. The mortals praise these lucky girls, but their daughters are never seen again. The Fae realm is eternal night, where disputes are settled by chess matches, power is acquired through the most devious kinds of trickery, and 7 elusive kings roam. The Fae hide their faces behind masks and guard their glass hearts to keep them from shattering. But beyond the veil of this luxurious paradise, a dark secret simmers, for their queens have disappeared. When aspiring artist Althea is selected, she is desperate to avoid the same mysterious fate. With no one to trust, she conceals messages in paintings and receives anonymous replies from a stranger, but slowly reveals the tale of a girl who outwitted the Fae. Only if she is clever enough will Althea survive the fate of the mortal queens, as long as the king who cannot love does not claim her first. So depending on who this person is that's leaving the secret messages, either this is a really freaky version of the you've got mail trope, or like it's one of the girls like talking to her, like one of the missing girls, which is also really, really fun. So I'm intrigued. We'll see if I actually pick this up. On Wings of Ash and Dust by Brittany Wang. This is another book that has been on my TBR, I'm sad to say, for like 3 years. And really the reason I haven't picked it up yet is because of its length. It's a bit of a chunker. I think I don't know, I think she's got an omnibus and I think she's got like separate ones. I could be completely wrong, but I just remember looking at it one time and being like, oh my gosh, this is a really long book, and I don't know. But it's another one that I recently revisited the description and I was like, maybe it would be worth it. It says, 5 fairy clans compete for the crown. 1 pixie pirate could ruin it all. Pixie pirate Quinn may be an outlaw, wanted by all 5 fairy clans, but she prefers it that way. All she wants is to finally become a captain in the infamous pirate fleet and bury her true identity beneath the rolling waves. But when the news of her twin brother's sudden death causes her to risk everything, she's built to avenge him. Quinn is unmasked for who she really is. Her only hope of escaping certain death in the pixie dust mines is taking her brother's place in the Ethodine, a dangerous competition for the fairy crown. In a series of death-defying trials, Quinn faces off with a mute beast tamer, a flirtatious merman, a blind artist, and a pompous princess. But as dark secrets unravel and all the ancient prophecy entwines their fates, rivals must become allies before there's no world left to rule. So this has merpeople, beasts, fairies, pirates, that's fun, and trials. So, like I said, I am gonna have to figure out how to pick this one up. The Blood and Flame Saga by E.A. Winters. So I believe this is 4 books in a series, and the first one is called Dragon's Kiss. And this one, I just wrote down a really short description because I feel like this is all I need to know about this book. Every month, the great black dragon comes. Every month, a child is snatched. That's all the village of Kalma knows. But Semra was one of those children, and she knows the truth. There is a dragon lord in the mountain raising the children into his own personal syndicate of assassins. Okay, I love all of that. The Assassin Bride by Anastasia Splay. So this is another Anastasia Splay. It says the selection meets Throne of Glass, but I believe this better be No Spice. I'm pretty sure it is. The selection meets Throne of Glass in this dark, twisted tale of deadly bridal competition for the hand of a mysterious Shadow King. So this is another competition we love. It is said that the never-seen king comes for a bride every 100 years. I thought it was only a legend until he came for me. I am one of the 12 assassins forced to compete for the hand of our unseen king, who I'm beginning to doubt is even human at all. Why he needs a bride, much less one who wields a blade, isn't any of my business. All I'm trying to do is get out of here with my life and my heart intact. I don't want to care about the mysteries I begin uncovering about the king, about why he never shows his face, about his palace that turns into a nightmare after dusk. I'm just trying to escape, but apparently my choice is to win the competition or die. I'm not dying. I'm definitely not falling in love with the never-seen king. Oh yeah, that sounds so good. Secrets of Avendor by Cheney Hobson. This one is for Katri. I have talked about this before. I feel like this is very high on my list right now because the cover of it just has such a summer vibe to it, and I'm there. It's spring, but I'm craving those summer books, you know? And so this one says, Annika dreams of a quiet life, helping others and working with her brother on his mission work. Being attacked by pirates and finding himself stranded on an uncharted island was never part of the plan. Neither was the handsome pirate captain. Ethan, adrift in grief and struggling to keep afloat, fights to make a difference in an unjust world. But why does this girl with her fiery eyes and gentle spirit cause his guarded heart to feel again? Half drowned in maroon, the merchants and pirates find themselves unlikely allies on an island set on destroying them. Ancient man-eating creatures roam freely and evil intentions abound. Can Annika and Ethan dodge danger long enough to uncover the secrets of the mysterious island, as well as the new bond that is beginning to forge between them? So there's a dinosaur on the cover, so that I've heard this is a lot like Jurassic Park, so I'm thinking that the man-eating creatures must be dinosaurs, so that is really, really fun. And of course, pirates. That's another buzzword for me. Okay, I have another physical book here. This is so exciting. I have 2 physical books. I actually do have a lot of physical books that I've talked about on my past videos. It's just I have a really bad habit of leaving them upstairs, and my little son is sleeping right now, so like I don't want to go up there and like make noise and then potentially wake him up to go retrieve them. So I did grab these ahead of time though, so that's good. But anyway, this is by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon, and I got this from a used bookstore, and it says, when her best friend McKenna invites her to spend the summer in Scotland, Veronica jumps at the opportunity to leave her complicated life behind for a few months, but the Scottish countryside holds of their plans. Not only has an imaginary kilted boy followed her to Alloway, but she and McKenna also uncover a strange set of rings and a very unnerving letter from McKenna's great aunt. And when the girls test the instructions of Aunt Gracie left behind, they find themselves transported to a land that defies expectation. The Will of Many by James Islington. I was excited to find that this one I could get at the library. And it says, at the elite Caitnan Academy, a young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries and world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series by internationally best-selling author I'll skip that part. The Caitnan Republic, the hierarchy may rule the world now, but they do not know everything. I tell them my name is Vis Telemus. I tell them I was orphaned after a tragic accident 3 years ago, and that good fortune alone has led to my acceptance into their most prestigious school. I tell them that once I graduate, I will gladly join the rest of the civilized society in allowing my strength, my drive, and my focus, what they call will, to be leached away and added to the power of those above me, as millions already do, as all must eventually do. I tell them that I belong, and they believe me. So that sounds intriguing, and it's another Academy book, so yay! A War of Crowns by Ashley Willingham. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Ashley Willingham. In fact, like all of her books are on my TBR, but I'm just gonna talk about this one because this one is more like fantasy. It's like more the fantasy category kind of thing. So the war began the day 29-year-old Serafina de la Croix became Elmoria's first ruling queen. 200 years of peace shattered in an instant, all because the world thought her too weak to hold her family's throne. She determined to prove them wrong. But Serafina wasn't born to rule. She was born to marry the king of Drakmore, Edmund Hargrave. The king of Drakmore, that sounds... whew, yeah, I wouldn't want to marry him either. And sit at his side as a mere consort, now thrust into a dangerous world of political intrigue and divine magic. Serafina must end the war and save her people before it's too late. But with dark forces stirring and enemies threatening at all sides, she stands to lose far more than just her life should she fail to secure victory in this deadly War of Crowns, especially when a new contender enters the arena, the true king of Drakmore, who supposedly died 15 years ago. Okay, plot twist. That sounds really good. The Starlit Prince by C.F.E. Black. This is another book I've been hearing so many good things about. This author also wrote Flame Theory that I talked about earlier. It says, to break his curse, he must break her. Talia's dream of avoiding marriage to her domineering landlord comes crashing to the ground the night her family's ticket out of poverty is stolen and sold by the wicked landlord himself. Now Talia, I just love the name Talia, that's such a good fantasy name. Now Talia will be forced to marry him and give up the future she imagined for herself until a mysterious stranger offers her a surprising bargain. He'll save Talia's family from the landlord's schemes if she marries the stranger that very night. Ooh, okay, so it says The Starlit Prince is a reimagined spin on the Spanish fairy tale, The Lily and the Bear, with Beauty and the Beast vibes, perfect for readers who enjoyed fractured fairy tales with tormented heroes, determined heroines, and the impossible love that binds them. So that sounds so good. Okay, Ocean of Ink by A.R. Carwell. She can sense emotions. He's trained to be emotionless. Ren's quiet life is upended when her brother's body is delivered to her family's estate by the elite academy he was attending. Consumed by grief and bound by past debt, she goes to the Obsidian Academy to uncover the mystery behind his death and avenge the only person she's ever trusted. A deadly forest surrounds the dark halls of the exclusive university, but the competitive, bloodthirsty students might be more vicious than the nightmarish creatures that haunt the woods. When I read that sentence, I was like, oh my gosh, this book sounds like a much freakier version of Ariadne in The Legend of the Fire Rose. So of course, I have to read this because that's my jam. I mean, not the freaky part, but like the whole like dark forest with the creatures and the competitive students, like that just sounds really fun to me. The most conniving of them all being Prince Castian Valengard. So there's a prince, that makes it even more fun. The only one whose emotions Ren can't sense, and a man she believes is connected to the secret society her brother was part of. So that kind of makes me think of like Twilight, because you know how like he couldn't read Bella's mind, like he could read everybody else's mind, so she can't sense his emotions. Anyway, so that's really interesting. Ren devises a plan to uncover Castian's role in her brother's death, and in the meantime works to balance her studies and her secrets. Then another student is killed, stuck on the island with no way out. Okay, so it's an island, so that like took it up a notch. Yeah, this sounds so good. I really, really want to read this. The Heir and the Spare by Kate Stradling. I really want to start reading Kate Stradling because I've heard so many good things about her. And the thing is, apparently she's an amazing writer and spins wonderful stories, but like her covers are like, eh. Although this one, The Heir and the Spare, is pretty good. But I feel like, in fact, like I think I've heard other people say like if she just updated her covers, she'd get a lot more readers, which is like so true, that we're so like vain, like we're just drawn to that like beautiful artwork and it like makes us want to read it, you know? Plus like, I don't know about you, but like if there's like just something really beautiful sitting there on the table or wherever, I'm like, I just want to pick it up more. Like I don't know, there's just something about it. When like we're just drawn to beauty. It's just human nature. But anyway, this one is about an evil princess, a ruthless persecutor, a wretched match, tormented at home and bullied during her studies abroad. Second-born Iona of Wesset hides in the quiet corners of her father's castle. So we love a good castle. Her art and music provide refuge, but her cruel sister Lysen ever lurks like a monster stalking its prey. Such has been her life for 20 years. However, a promise of reprieve and retribution arrives when the neighboring kingdom of Capria proposes an alliance between their new crown prince and Wessett's heir to the throne. The treaty will rid Iona of the toxic Lysen, I'm not sure how you say that name, and potential groom is none other than the erstwhile bully Jovan of Duravel. These names. I'm so sorry. We'll just call him Jay. The marriage could not be more poetic. Each deserves the misery the other might inflict, except that Jay, humbled by the war that elevated his rank, appears to have reformed, and the fate of both kingdoms now hinges on the disastrous union he's about to make. So I've just heard that this is really good. The description, meh, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking about it, other than like the whole castle thing. But I'm just gonna trust that the recommendations for this yes, that it's gonna be really, really good. And maybe I just need to read one Kate Stradling and then I'll be like, okay, I see what you're talking about, kind of thing. The Songbirds' Last Lament by Andrea Costella. A runaway princess with botanical magic, a dragon trainer living on borrowed time, a love that transcends their doom. That's all I need to know. Honestly, botanical magic, like plants and stuff, and dragons and all of that. And so I'll read a little bit more about what this one's about. Armed with dark botanical magic, Valena C. spent her childhood serving as her father's weapon in a vengeful war, until the day she refused to kill the enemy prince and was forced to flee. Now, with her magic at its most dangerous, she believes nothing can stand in the way of her revenge on her father, until she encounters Evander. Oh, I like that name. The dragon trainer who broke her heart, and she is frustrated to discover that her passion for him has not waned. Worse still, Evander secretly loves Valena. Oh, he's secretly pining for her. Okay, we love that trope. So this is like second chance, but with like the secret pining thing going on. But he can't let her fall for him again because he is plagued by a mysterious magical injury, and the elixir he relies on to stay alive is running out, along with hopes of his survival. With Evander's life in the balance and Valena's magic spiraling out of control, they must find a cure before their pasts catch up to them and they lose one another forever. The Songbirds' Last Lament is a poetic botanical romantasy for anyone who wants to feel yearning, passion, and a cozy sense of encroaching doom. I didn't know encroaching doom could be cozy, but okay. I don't know, that just seems like an oxymoron to me, but the rest of it sounds so good. Like, I love the secret pining trope. Oh yeah, and botanical magic, dragon trainer. Like I said before, that's all I need to know. That was really good. A Song for Lost Things by Michael Ashwood. I love this cover. When a cruel and enigmatic queen, I'm like, these words are just getting to me today. When a cruel queen steals half the residents of Hoppleside Castle, Valentine, a gentle girl living a small forgotten life, must accept an impossible bargain, brave the castle's shifting halls, and kneel before the throne room or lose her friends forever. Hoppleside is no ordinary castle. It is impossibly vast, its endless corridors twisting like riddles, and none who attempt the journey have ever returned. Armed only with her magic piccolo, stubborn hope, and the loyalty of those who believe in her, Valentine must leave the safety she has always known to challenge a queen determined to silence her song. The whole like castle with shifting corridors and riddles and secrets, that is all I need to know, seriously. There's actually like 12 more books that are on my fantasy TBR, but since this video is getting kind of long, I figured I would just stop right there because I wanted to pick the ones that are like really, really at the top of my list, like high on the top of my list, and the other ones are kind of like maybe this year, maybe next year, we'll see. Obviously, if one of those books gets a really great review, that would move it like higher on priority list, but we'll see what happens. So I really, really hope you guys found some more books that interest you, that caught your eye, that you were able to add to your TBR as well. If so, let me know, because that's really exciting to me when you guys find new books. That's all I have for today, and I will see you in the next video.